And welcome to episode 29 of Two Idiots Reading Comic Books. This week, we have probably the podcast's favorite writer, Donny Cates, his amazing run on Venom. We're doing volume 1, and we're going to do volume 1 through 4 on the continuous, all the way through April. But while you're here, let's go ahead and like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Whether you're listening on the podcast platform, whatever you're listening on, if you're on YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, all that stuff. Go follow us on our social media. We have Instagram and Twitter that are both Two Idiots RC, and a Facebook page that is Two Idiots Reading Comics. We're gonna try to do better on that. I be honest, I need to do better. I run the social media. I just try not to do like the generic superhero memes, but maybe y'all like that. Who knows? But we're going to try to make it a fun place where everybody can, talk about comics and stuff like that. But yeah, so let's hope everybody read, and let's get into the show. And welcome to episode 29 of Two Idiots Reading Comics. Davis.
Yes.
Last week, not great.
Sorry.
We don't like to talk negatively.
We try to bring positivity to the podcast, but
And today, we're going to have a lot of
positivity back.
Our favorite writer, Donny Cates, and a very cool anti-hero character.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should give the background as to why we chose this, though.
Yeah.
I think we did a pretty good job of the first 2 episodes of this month. Not saying what month we're actually in, but I'm going to spoil it now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This is currently the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and we decided we were going to do the continuous first 4 volumes of Venom for this year, because we heard there was a crossover coming up between the Donny Cates Thor and Donny Cates Venom.
Yep.
What we didn't realize is that it's
supposed to happen
coming
in December.
out December 2nd.
Oh, so.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So.
We're a little behind.
Yeah. We're having to catch up on Venom. We've both been reading Thor, at least I have.
Yeah. I'm current on Thor.
And then.
Jesus is it. Fuck, it's great.
But the good news is the first 4 volumes of Venom get you to like issue 25.
Well, if there's 6.
30
6,
just
12.
came out. This past week, Venom came out, and
It'll
I did
take
it
you to
on
24.
things I read.
It'll take you to 24.
Take 24. And so you only have to go 25 to 30 in
Which
the regular
by the time
comic books.
we do that, volume 5 should be up shortly.
By the time this comes out,
Oh yeah, by the time
the
this
time
comes
we
out,
actually
volume
read
5,
it, because we want to
we gotta
be
catch
ready
up.
for the King in Black.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hang off on Thor until. Well, I know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm going to be that Wednesday or that Friday. I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, as we had from our families and friends, we're going to pleasure ourselves with comic books.
I don't know how I feel about that combination of words.
I knew that would get him.
I'm all about pleasuring yourself with comic books. I feel like it's gonna lower the collection value.
Well, let's move on.
We're not that creepy all the time either.
So let's hit up everybody that was a part of this. You got your writer, Donny Cates, penciler, Ryan Stegman, inker, J.P. Mayer, color artist, Frank Martin, letterer, VC's Clayton Cowles, cover artists, Ryan Stegman and Frank Martin for 1 and 2, Ryan Stegman, J.P. Mayer, and Frank Martin for 3 through 6, assistant editors, Lauren Amaro, Tom Groneman, and Emily Newcomb.
I'll go with that.
Editor, Devin Lewis. Executive editor, Nick Lau. Or Lowe. L-O-W-E. Lowe?
Go low.
Let's start with this. Have you ever read a Venom comic?
No.
What of Venom do you know?
Only from Spider-Man cartoons.
Same here. Other than the fact that I know all it is a symbiote.
Yeah.
That I had no idea where the fuck it came from.
And then that weird Topher Grace version.
Talking about Spider-Man 3 with
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire that we just don't speak of.
Not okay. It's pretty bad, but
That one's up there. Like, I didn't even know comic books, and like I knew that movie was bad. Like, that movie was just bad.
it was just the weird. I don't know. Tobey Maguire, when he suddenly got confident or whatever, and he started doing that weird dance, like
where he was like a cocky rich
Yeah.
kid thing. Yeah,
but he wasn't like he was still nerdy and shit.
yeah.
Also, he was like almost 40 playing a 20-year-old.
That too.
But
But the only thing out of that,
you've seen the Venom movie, haven't you?
no, I haven't watched it.
You haven't
I
seen the
haven't
Venom
seen
movie?
it. I have not seen it.
It's all. I mean,
Yeah, I know. It's a good movie
it's
because
good, but it's not like MCU good. If I'm
because
you know
it's
what I'm saying?
Sony. It's a Sony original, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess it's Sony.
Sony, yeah.
Because Sony and Marvel like having pissing matches of who owns Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or who's going to get the
imagine
rights
MCU
to it.
Venom?
Dude, if Sony would just get their head out of their ass, ask for 70% of everything, and let Marvel do it.
Well,
But
no, I think the
then
original
again-
deal was 50%, and they still want more.
Tom Holland's Spider-Man only has one movie left with Marvel and Disney, and that's it. And then
And
it
then
goes
they're gonna
back to
have
Sony.
Work it out. I don't know.
Then it goes back to Sony.
I don't know. That gives me headaches.
I know, man. The right you think by now everybody just be like, look, we're
You
gonna
know what?
make-
Just let Disney do it
yeah,
and be happy they're paying you something.
yeah,
So
because they're gonna put gold. to
lease
it.
out their characters to them.
Yeah. But so in Spider-Man 3,
Yeah.
it's Eddie Brock becomes the Venom after the symbiote gets off
Yeah.
of Spider-Man. Who is the person? Who is the host for the symbiote in Venom? Is it Eddie Brock
Yeah.
or okay? In Spider-Man cartoons, it's the football player.
The Flash guy.
It's Flash, Thompson.
They even mentioned him in a brief
Correct.
second here. Like I'm not super familiar. As far as I remember, it was always Eddie Brock, but
We'll see.
or that's the only one I'm
The
familiar
the
with.
only Venom I remember is in Spider-Man's in the cartoons, and it was Flash Thompson.
Really?
Yeah.
You talking about like the '90s one?
No,
Or like the more.
sorry,
you watched the
the
more current one.
mid
More current.
2000s ones. It was Thompson because they were in school. It was like the Spider-Man that was like in school.
Is that like Spectacular Spider-Man?
Probably.
Thinking it, and was it like Drake Bell doing the voice?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I never
They were
watched that
like
one.
in high
It
school.
was on like Disney.
Disney X,
Yeah.
Disney Extreme or something.
I didn't watch that, but I think in the '90s when I watched it was Eddie Brock.
It was Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this Eddie Brock doesn't look like Spider-Man 3's Eddie Brock. Because that dude was wiry and
Topher Maguire or
Yeah.
Topher Grace. Well, yeah, he's the guy from that '70s show who was like string bean.
Where this he kind of he's buff, he's bigger. He like
Well,
the actual
fucking
host.
Tom
is-
Hardy. Is
Tom
fucking
Hardy's
jacked,
fucking jacked.
so- but what'd you like? I guess we should start actually talking about the comment. But so this, I guess, at some point they had already set up where the symbiotes come from and all that.
I don't know if they did. Oh, okay.
they did.
That's right. Because his
But
host.
Donnie kind of changed it in this, where they
Yeah.
talked about. Okay, this I forgot what it was called, but like the planet,
Give me just a second.
the planet had a name.
Give me just a second. Starts with a K. Clintar.
Yeah,
Klyntar.
and what this Noel guy eventually ends up revealing is like that's not a planet.
It's a prison. It's a cage.
Yeah,
It's the
their word
symbiotes
for
were-
cage,
yeah.
and
the
it's
way
all to hold this guy and keep
Yeah.
him from infecting everybody.
because the way it seemed that the host told Eddie
Yeah.
was that it was their home world
Yeah,
and that Clintar was their
Mhm.
race.
I
or
think that had
their-
been that had been canon for a while now.
Yeah.
Donnie changed it though.
Donny Cates adding new things to the mythos is wild. Kind of like
Yeah.
what Snyder did with the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
something that's always been there that no one really knew was there. Like
Yeah.
they and
It's adding to and slightly changing continuity without being disrespectful to what came before you.
oh yeah, I mean this to me didn't disrespect anybody.
No.
It just gave a finite final.
Mm.
This is how it happened.
The only thing that the only like literally smallest critique I have for this is they're going through Noel's backstory, and it's like the gods came in. I didn't
Yep.
like that, and so I started to forge symbiotes. And he said that's why like the early symbiotes are weak to
Ooh.
noise and fire.
Oh, see, I like that.
No, I like that part.
Okay.
But then I guess they alluded to like an old Thor book that had took his original sword, which is called All Black,
Yep.
away from him.
Yeah.
And then he just figured out, like he said,
He could start infecting.
he was on that
yeah.
plant, or he was on that planet for like
yeah.
100 years, and then it just struck. Like it seemed like
It just struck him. Yeah,
just
like
struck him.
yeah.
I can give parts of me out
Yeah.
and infect everything, and then I can basically be in control of every symbiote after
And
that,
take their power, take some of their.
and take
Yeah,
some of their knowledge and power.
yeah.
And I was like,
Why weren't you
so
doing that
why
in the
couldn't
first
you
place?
infect it? Like you were having to make symbiotes before, and now you're just taking a part of you. That was like the smallest
That
critique.
does yeah.
I feel like that was just having to have a workaround of, okay, Venom is weak to noise and fire. Why isn't this guy?
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because like to tell why they're like, how do they have this weakness other than just it's just their weakness?
And it's because he would
Yeah, I've got it. It's
hammer it with,
as he was creating he killed his first god, the gods of this world, of this universe.
Yeah. Because it was just a void.
It was
before they
abyss,
came. Yeah.
and his blackness, and that's what he thrived in.
Mm-hmm.
Yet when the gods came, they gave him light, which created shadow, which he reaches into the god's hand and pulls out a sword.
Yeah.
Very crude, and kills the god. And then he says, the creation of the proto-symbiote was unclean. To this day, the weaker of my creations carry the scars of their progenitor's birth inside of them. They still fear the fire of the forge and the discordant and incessant noise of celestial hammer beating their will into something wieldy.
Yeah.
Which is
So
really
that's-
cool. Like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Awesome.
That page was beautiful.
Yeah.
So all I can figure is to create something pure, which is what he fought other gods with, had to be forged and actually purely created.
Yeah.
And he was only fighting gods who you can't control.
Yeah.
So
well, maybe, who knows?
So I guess once he fell to that planet, he then realized, oh, I'm not fighting gods. I'm just around creatures that I can kind of.
Yeah.
That I do agree. I do
from.
agree. That's a small critique of this wonderful story, but that is kind of something.
That just seemed a little convoluted to me. But everything other besides that seems fucking awesome.
But yeah, to create a world, to create a god of a creature, of a character that's been around almost as long as Spider-Man. Maybe not that far back,
I
but
don't know when Venom came out.
At least before the 90s,
Yeah,
early 90s, because it was in a cartoon, so it had to be
technically
out
the symbiote's been around as long as the. No, the symbiote came in. What is like the classic?
Carnage?
No, the symbiote snuck on like a spaceship into Earth after like one of those like massive. I think it was like one of the secrets or like the invasion or something like that.
You talking about like
Marvel
80s, canon
90s,
or like a movie?
Marvel like comic canon. Like the equivalent of Crisis on Infinite Earths, but what was Marvel always call theirs? I know Secret's a big one because it's like Secret Invasions, Secret Wars, and stuff like that. But it was like basically some gigantic event that involved like everybody, like on that Crisis on Infinite Earth, Secret War, something on that level.
Wow.
And like in the last panel is like a symbiote sneaking onto a spaceship, and then eventually Spider-Man gets infected with it.
Okay. I did not know. I didn't know that one. Cool. All right.
And that's
Yeah,
how you get
I can't even.
That's how you
think
get
of
the
name.
black suit Spider-Man.
Well,
So
yeah,
whenever that
I knew
happened,
that
Yeah,
because when we read Craven, he
Yeah.
had a black suit, so it had to be
yeah. So
before that.
somewhere around there.
Well,
yeah.
that was the 80s, so
So
early 80s.
I just can't remember
Either
what
way.
the event was called, but it's something along that line.
But I really thought it was cool. Like he would control
Mhm.
whatever, go world to world.
As long as his like connection wasn't severed, which I guess apparently Thor's going to tie into this King
Right.
in Black. The person who he was like basically taking over the universe, but Thor was the one who severed his link to all the other
Yep,
symbiotes
yep.
because it was like Norse AD or North BC or whatever, and like all these Norsemen are screaming for Beowulf,
Yeah.
and Thor's like, wait, is Beowulf?
Go ahead. Go
Is he
ahead.
Norse?
Finish your story, then I want to.
But Thor's there, and he's like, well, I don't know who this Beowulf guy is, but they can use me. Hits him with the lightning hammer, and that's what severed the link between Null and all the symbiotes. And then that's when they formed like the planet / cage.
The
around them.
symbiotes then realized that severed the connection. Then they realized we can thrive on light and hope and honor and everything that makes a human in comics. Apparently, that then they realized, well, we don't want this darkness, this death, this destruction. So then they encase him in millions upon millions of symbiotes. And that was something I was going to ask. So I guess the whole tie-in of noise and light, which lightning is bright as hell, also hot, and I guess with it comes thunder, which is literally everything that would fuck up a symbiote. Okay, that got me. Back to the Beowulf. Yeah, I was going to ask
Greek,
about that.
isn't he?
I thought he was Norse.
Oh,
I thought he was English.
If he's Norse, that makes fine, perfect sense.
I thought he was like English and more Eastern, Western Europe than
I don't know. I couldn't remember it because like it's always until like
there's a movie with Angelina Jolie.
Until Thor got popular in the MCU, no one really gave a shit about Norse mythology.
Right.
It was always you have all like the Greek and Roman mythology, and also there's Beowulf. Because I remember having to read I was told to read Beowulf.
Yeah, I was told to. I didn't either. And
but,
I watched the movie, and I was told the movie was wrong, and I failed that test.
Oh, I just cheated. But,
well, that too. I didn't care. So.
But yeah, so I couldn't. I was like, is it Norse mythology? But
I think he is. I mean, it must be. I mean, they wouldn't have just.
Also, Greeks and Romans never really talked about wolves a whole lot. When you think about it.
Well, wolves were kind of.
They weren't even close around that.
Well,
area,
there would have been wolves and coyotes, and there were breeds of dogs. They at that time people had started to use them as hunters or killers and trained them. Because I know the Roman Empire had would cage wolves, starve them, and release them on their enemies.
But wolves are gigantic in the Norse mythology, though.
That is true.
Like,
that is true. Yeah,
it has stuff to do with like Ragnarok and shit like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to this. Shit, what were we talking about?
We just
Thor severed the link from Null and the rest of the symbiotes, and they had him in a cage. And I don't know, like I guess I don't know what woke up his dragon or whatever. Which, holy shit, a symbiote dragon,
dude, that was so cool.
That was fucking awesome.
All right, so Thor severed his connection with that dragon.
Yeah.
That
I think that dragon was technically his symbiote.
Right, that's what he used as his control. Like that's what gave him links to everything.
Yeah, but
how did S.H.I.E.L.D. That's what got me. They never explained how did S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think they just said, "Hey, S.H.I.E.L.D. had this." I don't think they explained how they got it.
Okay,
and then they severed pieces of it off and gave it to that Vietnam unit or whatever.
Right,
and
then 4 of them were brought back home because they were tied to it too much.
Yeah,
the 5th we find out, which was really cool,
just
me,
became it.
he became like his host died,
Yeah.
yet he had such a connection with the host that he became the host.
Yeah.
And then worked for Shield, worked for the CIA,
Yeah.
and then was running around the world as a symbiote.
Mm-hmm.
But then where did Venom's symbiote come from then?
That one, like I said, was the alien ship from that whatever event, and then eventually found its way to Spider-Man and Eddie Brock.
Okay. Because that's what I was trying to figure. It was
Yeah.
like, so it only takes those 5 symbiotes to rebuild the other one. But if
To
that's the
rebuild
ones
to
they
the
were
dragon.
carved off of,
Yeah.
then that would finish the tie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just
You know what?
trying to piece it together.
Another thing that speaks to how good this story arc was. Me and you love Miles Morales. He is in this storyline, and we went 22 minutes without even mentioning that.
I was about to say
Miles Morales is in this story.
Because when I read it, I was like, because they when the dragon attacks, they say Spider-Man's first on the scene.
Spider-Man's the only one here.
And I was like, oh, well, we'll get to meet
We'll see Peter Parker.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And nope, Miles Morales.
Yes.
And really cool, 6 pages. All
How
right,
about
he's done.
apparently Miles is pissed off at Eddie or Venom?
Ooh, yeah.
Because apparently he did something to his mom or something.
Yeah, and almost
They
killed
didn't
his
really-
dad.
yeah.
I did not know that was even
No.
a thing. I'm wondering if that tied into, they redid Miles' story after Secret War.
It did?
Either after Secret War or
Like his
or
origin?
Civil War 2. No, his origin. But
Oh.
like like Rebirth. Very
Oh,
soft
yeah.
reboot.
Yeah.
They gave him like
'Cause
his
after
own
seeing-
comic.
After Secret Wars, yeah.
Is
It
it
wasn't-
Secret Wars
it
or
was
Civil
no
War
longer,
2?
No, it was after Secret War because he was a part of like the Ultimate Universe.
Right.
And Secret Wars merged Earth Prime with that's the only thing I know about Secret Wars.
Oh, see,
Is
I
that it
didn't
was
even,
designed
I
to
didn't
merge
even.
the Ultimate Universe with Earth Prime and make it all one universe again.
So instead of like the 52 universes in DC, there's now one universe
Yeah.
in Marvel.
Yeah.
Where there was multiples, now it's one.
Yeah. And
Fuck, Secret Wars was such a
yeah, they
God,
did a
that still
terrible.
fucks me up.
Yeah, we will never read that on the show.
No.
But yeah, and then that's when it went from Ultimate Spider-Man to just being Spider-Man.
okay. Because I always try to figure out how was both Spider-Mans running around other than you have Spider-Verse with. All right. Either
Mhm.
way, yeah, love Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
Great intro to Miles Morales, and
Yeah.
then okay, I'm done with him.
Yeah, like
Okay, that's
he didn't
cool.
wear out his welcome. He was like, you know what? I'm done fucking with symbiote dragons and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Dude, his electrical punch.
yeah,
because
got
they've now
swallowed
given
by the
Miles-
dragon, and
Now they
yeah.
give Miles Morales some electrical feedback or something. Fucking cocks Eddie Brock across the face.
Oh yeah,
Because Eddie Brock's symbiote's freaking out
Yeah.
because it's what they call it, kneeling to the alpha.
yeah.
It's
With
layman's
Null and
terms.
stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
he's kneeling to his alpha,
Hmm.
and Eddie's like, "Kill me," and Miles is like, "Fine."
Yeah,
Oh God, that was cool.
but very good book. Obviously, you've read it if you're watching this. I can't tell if this is leading into volume 2.
It's got to lead into something because the ending just.
Now I know. I think it's either volume 2 or volume 3 is Absolute Carnage.
Okay, what's Absolute Carnage?
It's another like.
There's another symbiote? Oh,
Well,
that's right.
no,
There's
it's
Carnage.
Carnage.
There's Carnage. And
Yeah,
then Venom
but it's like
and Carnage
Donny
is
Cates.
different.
This is Donny Cates' Carnage story, which apparently was fucking awesome. It's either
Oh.
volume 2 or volume 3. It's either going to be in February or March.
So we're gonna have Venom and Carnage
Yeah,
in the same issues.
yeah. So yeah,
Sweet.
I think they're going to be
Shit.
fighting each other. But
Because Carnage is also a symbiote,
mhm.
but he's not.
There's a bunch of different symbiotes.
You're right. Okay,
Carnage
now
is
things are fitting
Carnage,
together.
I think, is technically the offspring of Venom. I don't know how that works, but it
Okay,
is.
because now things are fitting together. Because I remember Variant. Love you guys. Please follow us. Please like us. That'd be great.
Hey, come over for a crossover episode. That'd be dope.
I'll fly out to Texas for that.
No way they see this, but maybe we'll
Still.
email them one day.
I remember them talking about now that everything because they went on a big rant.
They
about
have like
all
a
this
history
stuff.
of like all the different symbiotes and stuff like that.
That's right. Okay.
Video.
Everything's starting to
Mm-hmm.
fall back into.
But
because this Venom is
I
2
think-
years old. This is 2 years old.
I know purely because I read issue 30 for things I read last week.
Yeah.
Null shows back up.
Well, yeah, it has.
But I
mean,
think it's leading into the King in Black.
that makes sense because
So I don't
mean,
know-
they didn't set up this big story for
Yeah, no.
nothing. I mean, this is.
I don't know if it goes directly into volume 2, but it definitely is going to come back around for the
That
crossover.
works because, like, for Donny Cates to be in Venom,
Yeah.
who then already introduces Thor,
Mm-hmm.
to then go on to now writing Thor,
Yeah.
is going to merge these two worlds together, or the one world into from two comics into one. It's to me that's
Yeah, and I don't even think we're leaving out the new image book he has, literally called Crossover.
oh, what if that tied in?
It might,
What if they all three tied together, and it tied into DC?
because
What if they literally gave Donny
Time
Cates?
out, time out.
What if they literally
Time out.
gave Donny Cates?
Spoiler alert! If you haven't read Crossover issue 1, skip ahead. I don't know how long, because spoilers in 3, 2, 1. They heavily, and I mean heavily, imply in his new. It's called Crossover. It's being published by Image Comics. It's written by Donny Cates. Heavily implying. I mean, basically the premise of the story is just randomly one day in Denver, Colorado, every comic book character ever shows up in a massive fight, and they kind of have to like dome off the world and stuff.
Well, other heroes, like other heroes that got the heroes figured out a way to keep everything in.
Yeah, and then the humans had to dome it off because they couldn't control it. It was like this massive casualties. But they're in a comic book shop, and they draw humans and comic book characters differently. They should
That's
draw
really
the
cool.
comic book
That's really
characters as like the 3 dot, like
Yeah.
old school like dot art comic book characters. And they're like, "Whoa, you're not supposed to be here. How did you get here?" And she said, "The man is a man is like
Getting
finding
us
a
out,
way
yeah.
people to get out." And they're like, "What man?" And she's like, "I don't know his name. Like, can you draw him?" And she crudely draws a man with a
The
crest
S.
and an S on his chest,
with
so,
the cape.
heavily implying Superman. And he doesn't work for DC. He works for Marvel, and then I guess in his free time writes for Image. And
But if
it sounds like everybody in the world is perfectly okay with Donny Cates working with everybody for this.
But if that's the case, if they're okay with him working with,
Yeah.
like they pretty much all but said the word Superman.
No, they said the word Superman. Or no,
No.
I'm pretty sure they said it
because
at
they
one
never
point.
give it a name because they.
I'm pretty sure the word Superman is. The rest of them they like just refer to
You're
as
right.
the man that wears all black and
Either way, to say that this man has wrote Venom,
Yeah.
now writing Marvel, Thor,
yeah.
gonna cross the two over,
Yeah.
writing a book literally called Crossover, hinting at Superman. You also have the tie-in back to Doomsday Clock, where at the end of that 8 issues, they have everything that's tying together with the Black Winter. At the end, where you've got Superman, Batman, and everybody running around.
Oh, you're talking
And
about
each
issue
time-
1 of Thor. That wasn't in Doomsday
Thor,
Clock.
yeah, you're right. Issue 1 of Thor
'Cause
that
I was
also
like, I don't
ties, but
know
at
if
the end
you
of
read
Death
Doomsday
and Doomsday Clock also talks about crossovers with Marvel. The Green Man fights.
I thought that was all issue 1 of Thor.
No, they talk about it at the end of Death.
I still haven't read Doomsday Clock, so I don't know.
If Donny Cates is leading this all up,
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, I don't know where we were going with all that, but Donny Cates is crossing everything over with everything. It's all happening in fucking an image book.
dude, if Donny,
Because I mean, I guarantee you, if DC didn't give him permission, they could easily sue him for what he did in crossover issue number 1.
Okay, I don't know the legality to anything, but in my mind, Superman, the word, is not a trademark. So he could write Superman. He didn't give him a true image.
That's true.
The picture that they had
That's true.
was not Superman.
But the only thing that convinces me is because
Oh, it's
you
got
go
a
to
huge fucking. The way it was written. It's a huge fucking S. He has a cape on. It's Superman.
But if you go to the back of the issue and it has like the letter from the writer,
yeah,
there's literally a sentence where he says, "I can't believe I'm getting to play with what I'm getting to play with." We're gonna wrap this up. We're going long.
sorry, but yeah. So this leads into well, we'll be talking about Volume 2 next
Yes.
month. So we will give
we'll
you.
be doing at the very least volumes 1 through 4.
Yeah. So we will give you the tie-in. We will find out how it ends because the way Volume 1 ends, Eddie Brock's on the ground,
Oh yeah, we
burnt
didn't
to
talk
a
about that.
freaking crisp.
He had to. So tie back in. The guy, I guess his name is what is it?
Rex.
Rex, who is the symbiote,
The original symbiote off of the dragon.
Yeah.
The dragon's called a Grendel.
Tricked the projection of Null, I guess, into jumping into a fire with him. And then Eddie Brock is literally having to hold his back to a furnace, which his symbiote is weak to, and it just kind of vaporizes, and he's like dying because of 3rd-degree burns.
Yeah,
That's kind of where you leave off.
Because his symbiote went from driving him mad
Yeah.
to full fucking cognition. Like,
Yeah,
helping Eddie,
got, like,
talking to Eddie, being able to hear other people and talk to other people without saying
And
anything.
he got extra
Wings.
powers from the brief moment he was connected to Null.
Yeah, and he got
So,
wings. That was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so his symbiote's in him trying to keep him alive.
Yeah.
And his symbiote's
just
saying
can't take
out of
care of
text, is like, I can't save you.
Yeah.
You will die. Release them.
Yeah.
And it ends. Eddie's on the floor. The demon and Rex are dead.
Mhm.
And his symbiote's bleeding across the floor.
Yeah. So I guess we'll figure it out next month. But,
Yeah. Come back. You'll find out.
Next week, Exo Man of War. We'll talk about it then. But until then, see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.